Hello, Wayne Rivers at the Family Business Institute again. Thank you for tuning in. We hope that you'll give us the benefit of your comments, and we hope that you'll scroll down the page and look at the social media icons and follow us on social media, get our podcast, etc., etc. So this week I want to ask you a question, and I'll tell you why this came to the forefront of our minds here a couple weeks ago. But why doesn't every family business leader have a terrific administrative assistant? I do not understand this. We coordinate about 50 peer group meetings a year. And you wouldn't believe the tooth pulling we have to do to get information to, in order to prepare ourselves and the group for their upcoming meetings. It's rather ridiculous. We get late stuff, we get incomplete stuff, we get people that don't send stuff at all. We have people calling at the last minute and say, what airport, what city are we going to be in, what's the hotel accommodation, and all this other stuff. Just horribly disorganized and out of sorts. It's like a madcap fire drill. It's just, I can't believe the level of disorganization among our clients are super successful. And yet they're still booking their own airfare. They're still booking their own hotels. They're still collating, basic financial information that anybody could collate for them. Well, contrast that. Recently we got a new peer group member, and his name is Jeff. And Jeff has a remarkable administrative assistant named Casey. And boy, night and day, we're getting information like this. It's super organized. It's correct the first time we get it. There are no mistakes. There's no omission of information. It's all there. And I'm just thinking, what a blessing Casey is to Jeff. She handles all these details for him. It's quick. It's complete. It just takes all of that worry and anxiety and additional tasks off his plate. It frees up his time to do things that are going to benefit the business and, oh, by the way, Jeff and Casey, right? It's just amazing to me. I remember a story. This is a true story. We had a client a few years ago. This is going back 15 years or so, and they had a remarkably good year. The G2 in the company, there were 3 brothers, and each got a bonus of about $1 million. They drove a lot of money to the company's bottom line. And the brothers went to their father and they said, we think we should go ahead and hire an administrative assistant to share. The 3 brothers would share the administrative assistant. And at that time, in that town, an administrative assistant might have cost $25,000, $35,000, maybe $40,000 a year. Not a huge, great sum of money for a company that was driving millions to the bottom line. Well, Dad he would have nothing to do with it. He went off on his sons and talked about how they were spoiled and how they were just trying to have life easy and they didn't need an administrative assistant. And we got quite a chuckle out of it here because we were thinking, well, if these executives could move the company forward to the point where they're driving millions of dollars to the bottom line for the company and to themselves personally, and there really were a super effective group of leaders in that particular industry, why in the world couldn't they be more effective if they had a good administrative assistant to support them? So I'm trying to answer my own question. Why don't all successful family business leaders have an administrative assistant? And I think there are several answers. The first thing is thrift. All family business leaders tend to be thrifty to the point of being skinflints, it seems. And so that's just like my previous example. Dad couldn't believe they wanted the extravagance of a $35,000 or $40,000 a year employee on the payroll, which is mind-boggling, but don't get me started. Many family business leaders overestimate their ability to manage details. Some of the most disorganized, harebrained people I've ever seen. If you say, you really need help with your organization, their first response is, what? I'm organized. And, it takes, I guess maybe it takes an organized person to spot a disorganized person, but boy, it's pretty easy. I'm pretty organized, and when I see disorganization, it kind of makes my head spin. And then my administrative assistant, who's on a different level of organization, thinks I'm a sloppy mess. So I think people really, really overestimate their ability to handle details and just to handle all the tasks that they have to handle in the course of a day. And then the third reason I think most people don't have administrative assistants is that's the way we've always done it here. Dad never had one, granddad never had one. Why does this generation need the extravagance of administrative assistants? So here's a challenge for you. And business is pretty good across most industries in most parts of the country today. Why not try it? Why not create a job description for an administrative assistant and try it? Suppose you hired an administrative assistant for 3 months or 6 months. What's the real cost of trying this experiment? Let's say the person costs you $3,000 a month, even $4,000 a month. Well, for 3 months and 90 days, you're going to know whether it works or not. Guess what? You just blew $9,000 if it's a bad experiment, maybe $12,000, some of your time. Look, believe me, most of you have wasted a whole lot more money than that on projects before. So, it's really not that great of a risk for you. And I challenge you, I think if you can free up your mental time and energy, and you can get rid, delegate some of all these details about just managing your day-to-day life, think about how much time you would free up for the benefit of your business, and just as importantly, for the benefit of your family. Maybe you could get home for dinner. That's not so bad. So try the administrative assistant experiment. Let me know how it turns out, and I'll be looking forward to hearing your comments. This is Wayne Rivers at the Family Business Institute.